Hey everybody, AJ McCorder here, your tournament director for the Hobie Bass Open Series anchored by Power Pole. We're going to get this live feed going a little bit earlier as we're in between storms, and we have a nice dry moment here where we can rock this out here at the Omni Center in Onalaska, Wisconsin. But this event, we are here, La Crosse, Wisconsin, on the mighty Mississippi River. We are so excited to have you here with us for our 9th event of the 2021 season. This is a unique and storied river destination full of largemouth and smallmouth bass. Abundant vegetation, rock, and structure for our anglers. Surrounded by beautiful scenery, this river brings folks together from all over the country to showcase this North Midwestern gem of a waterway. Like we mentioned, this is the 9th event of our Angler of the Year presented by Far Wide, the Outdoor Access app. Make sure you check out Far Wide app anytime you're getting outdoors to see your access opportunities. We will publish our new Far Wide Angler of the Year rankings after this event. Things are going to keep getting tight as folks position themselves into the top of our standings as well as into that hunt for qualifying spots. It's a reminder that the top 19 that are not yet qualified will punch their ticket to our Tournament of Champions on Lake Eufaula this November. But this is a phenomenal place where you can utilize the Far Wide app to help find those places that you'd like to get in and out of the water. We do have one more open event this season. It'll be on Lake Pickwick out of Counce, Tennessee. We'll have event details up by the end of this weekend. Thank you guys for the patience on all of that. The top 3 anglers in this event will qualify for our Tournament of Champions. That's top 3 not yet qualified. It'll be a 3-day, 50-angler event. It'll be held on Lake Eufaula in Eufaula, Alabama. We're guaranteeing $75,000 payout to the top 10. That's 20% of the field, which is a huge payout and a return on that opportunity. We are giving away a brand new Hobie Lynx to any random angler that fishes these events. Every time you enter one of these events, you get eligible for that drawing. So if you fish 3 with us this year, you're going to have 3 opportunities to win that Lynx. We're going to give that away at the TOC. We'll make sure we get it to you one way or another after that event. This event has 110 anglers. We will pay out over $21,000 to the top 11. With the first place prize will be over $6,000. We will have a full pay scale that will be sent out and published after day 1. Bassin Magazine Big Bass is worth $400. That is going to be the longest bass scored this weekend. And we will also announce the Dakota Lithium's power moves to the angler that makes the biggest jump from day 1 to their final placement. We are going to ask everybody to utilize the check-in and out feature on Tourney X. When you get to your first ramp of the day, check in. It's very easy. Just pull up your app, go check in. When you are done with the day, even if you are making multiple stops, doing different launches, when the day is over, check out. We're going to ask you to do that both on day 1 and day 2. This is probably going to be a mandatory thing next year. Go ahead, get in the practice of doing that. This is not only a safety thing, but it also helps us find you on the water with our camera boat. Times for the event are all going to be central. You are allowed to push away from the ramp at 5:30 a.m. We do allow you to actually launch prior to that, get out of the way of the ramp and the launch, get in the water. If you're launching from a trailer, you don't have to worry about waiting till 5:30 to launch. That 5:30 time frame is when you're actually allowed to leave the launch area. We ask that you stay a couple boat lengths away from the shore and out of the way of other boats and kayaks that would be launching. First cast is at 6 a.m. We fish until 3, and you have until the clock strikes 3:01 to get your picture taken. 4 p.m. is the submission deadline. All of these times are also published on the back of your day 1 ID and on both the HobieBOS.com and Tourney X. We are on another river system. This river system just got a bunch of rain over the last couple days. Please be flow and water level aware. The rivers, the feeders, some are going to be impacted more than others. Please be safe and responsible at all times on the water. This river is not a joke, can catch anyone off guard at any time. Obviously, you're launching before the sun's going to be up. odds are the water is going to look and be different once you get out there compared to what it was any day this week. Be prepared for that. Be aware. Be extra cautious, please. We do not host a check-in on Saturday. I'll do a live meeting around 7:30 p.m. for day 1 updates, notes, and the release of your day 2 ID. That blank day 2 ID is going to be a place for you to write a code on there. We actually appreciate you using a Sharpie. The thicker the better, and you can get that code after that meeting. It'll be in the meeting, posted on Facebook, sent to your email, and published on hobiebos.com. Your backup ID that we passed out today, that is if you were to lose your ID tomorrow, message me. And don't keep your backup ID and your day 2 ID with your day 1 ID. Things happen, tourney tags fall off, wind blows, things happen, and those IDs can end up anywhere. Don't keep them all together. So keep the other 2 in a dry place. Take that backup ID, holler at me. My phone number is published on the back of your day 1 ID. It's published. You can also reach me on Facebook Messenger. That gives you the opportunity to reach me. I will give you a new ID that you will write on that backup ID, and we will get you through the rest of that tournament so you don't have to worry about getting off the water or anything like that. For the rest of this meeting, I'm not going to be reading the rules word for word. I'm just going to be touching base on a few fine items for this event. The rules are all published at hobiebos.com and linked in the TourneyX event page. The boundaries are clearly published on all event pages. We are fishing pools 7, 8, and 9 of the Mississippi River. It is the angler's responsibility to make sure they are launching and landing at a public and legal access. If you need to get rides, Ubers, shuttles, if you're doing launches, that is legal. You must have a valid license to be considered a legal contestant in this event. There's some very specific license requirements and reciprocal agreements on this fishery. Please make sure you're aware of those and legal. You cannot wade or portage in this event. On your pictures, I have to see your ID clear enough that I know what day it is. So tomorrow, I just need to see your day 1 ID. The number on there is very helpful for me, but as long as I know it's the day 1 ID, you're going to be good. On day 2, I have to see the code written on that ID to be able to give you a score. Service may be tough. Please submit your fish as early and as often as possible. Not only will this help us cover the event as we go live throughout the day and talk about what's going on, but it helps us find anglers that maybe have an opportunity to get their picture taken and covered by our media vote. But most importantly, it helps your fish count as soon as possible. Things happen, phones fail, they go in the water. There's no telling what could happen, but if your fish is already into TourneyX and I score it, you don't have anything to worry about. There's no reason to keep them back. Go ahead and get your fish in. And also what that allows me to do is I can communicate better with you throughout the event to make sure that your scores and your fish pictures are as good as they need to be so you don't make the same mistake fish after fish after fish. If you turn in all 5 at the end of the day and they all 5 have something wrong with them, I can't help you as much then as I can if you submit that first one when you catch it. I'll send you a message either on Facebook Messenger or your cell phone number that's published on the backside of TourneyX to do what I can to communicate with you. We are a mouth closed series. You must have that mouth completely closed or you'll be looking at a 1/2 inch penalty. At least a 1/2 inch. If it's a bigger fish, blatantly open, it can be from 1 to 2 inches. What we do, probably for any fish above 16 and above, I will message the angler about that penalty. If it's 16 or if it's below 16, I'm just going to penalize that fish and it'll show up with your score. So make sure you look at managed catch. If you think you turned in a 16 incher or a 15 3/4 and it's showing up at 15 1/4, you probably got dinged on open mouth. You can go to manage catch, you can swipe on it, delete it, resubmit a better picture, and I will then give you a better score. So be aware of that. If your fish don't show up at the size that you turned them in on, you probably got penalized for something. If it's 16 and over, I will send you a message, but sometimes you might not see those. So just check on your managed catch, especially after you submit your fish, and especially in that 3 to 4 time period once the fishing ends, but you still have an hour for submissions. Please be aware of the glare on your boards as well as the glare on your identifiers. You need to look at that stuff when you take your picture. Sometimes I can't see the ID or I can't see the numbers on your board. If you're using a tourney tag and it's slid all the way down to the tail of the fish, I'm not going to be able to see the next number from that fish. So make sure you give yourself some space between the tail of the fish and the tourney tag or your ID so I can make sure that I know the score to give your fish. Wetting your board before you lay the fish on can often help reduce the glare. It'll also help the fish not freak out so much and bounce around on you. Once the event starts tomorrow, you cannot solicit information from anyone except fellow competitors. So fellow anglers on the water, boaters, people that aren't in this event, tackle store folk. Once the event starts, you can only solicit information from folks in this event. You have access to the full rules, and it is your responsibility to know those. Those are on hobiebos.com. We do not allow motors. Please take your motors off of the boat if you've been using them for practice. And be aware of all of the other rules that we have published, especially fish orientation, mouth completely closed, belly towards the angler, fish facing left to right. Fish has to be flat on the board. You cannot have your finger up in the gill plate. You cannot cover the eye. All of that stuff's published. It's very important for you guys to know that if this is your first Hobie event. I ask that while you all are here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, that you support the local businesses and restaurants. Every time we go to an area, let's try our best to make an impact on the community and show them the value of supporting a kayak event and the anglers that we have coming in. We will have a camera boat on the water over the next 2 days. We'll do our best to give space for the anglers while also capturing as much of the event as we can. We can't wait to showcase what our anglers are able to do on this river and some of the amazing scenery and opportunities that are out here. At our drive-through check-in, we had an opportunity to give away some great sponsor prizes from all our amazing sponsors. If you have an opportunity to check out or support the following companies, we greatly appreciate it because they support this series, ultimately supporting you guys. So thank you to PowerPole, Far Wide, Bassin Magazine, Lowrance, Dakota Lithium, Princeton Tech, Tacticam, Stolquist, Aftco, St. Croix, Flambeau, Railblaza, Hobie, Hobie Eyewear, Marine Mat, Engel Coolers, Sunline, and Daiwa. Thank you guys so much. Also want to give a big thanks to all the staff at Hobie that doesn't get to be here at these events. They do a lot for us behind the scenes. We really appreciate them and their support. I want to thank Jeremiah from Explore La Crosse and all the folks there that work so hard to bring events like this into their community. They've been a great partner 2 years in a row. I want to thank Steve Fields, who is running our media operations both at the events and off-site. Hopefully some of you all will see him on the water tomorrow. I want to thank Jeremy from High Tempo over in Minnesota. He's here to support us. If anybody has any issues with any of their Hobies, he's here to get you back on the water as quick as possible, as well as our local reps, Cully and Esther, for being here and all the support they provide us. I will be your director for this event. I will be utilizing Ben Meredith as our off-site judge. I will be the one directly communicating with you guys that have any issues tomorrow through your phone or Facebook Messenger. But most of all, I want to thank all of you all for being here. Some of you traveled so far to be here. Can't thank you guys enough. This is what this is all about. Anybody that's making posts on social media, hashtag HobieBOS, hashtag Explore La Crosse. Let's pump this thing up. Let's showcase this event to everybody that's always following all of our events. They can't wait to see what you guys are going to do on this fishery. They follow along all day tomorrow and Sunday with our live updates. They promote, comment, and share your all's updates. So give them something to watch. Let's get them excited. Let's have an amazing event. Have fun, be safe, and let's show them what these events are all about and what a Hobie BOS angler is all about on 2 days here on the Mississippi River in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Thank you guys. Good luck and be safe.